Hello again, it's Amy with Just a Little Ink. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I'm here today to share with you a card. I'm calling it a Hey Chick pop-up card because it's a birthday card. When you open it up, it pops up the little chick and the little band chicken. It uses the Hey Chick stamp set, the Hey Chick dies, as well as the Hey Birthday Chick and the Hey Birthday Chick dies. Those are all items that are available right now. They're available through the end of June, or I'm guessing as while supplies last. Hey Chick was a stamp set that was available as a celebration item a number of years ago, and Stampin' Up! Brought it back. It was so popular, and they've added the dies that coordinate with it. And Hey Birthday Chick is available in our mini catalog, our January to June mini catalog, and they came up with the coordinating dies that go along with it. And so I'm also going to be using both this layering square dies and the layering ovals dies. So lots of dies in this particular card, but really do think it's worth it. We're in the last few days of celebration. Celebration goes through the end of this month, the end of February. And if you were to purchase one of the Chick bundles and add just a pack of paper, you could receive one of the $50 items for one of, well, I shouldn't say $50 items, one of the items that are in the level 1 for free, which include the first half of the celebration brochure. If you don't have a demonstrator, I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I have been a demonstrator now for 19 years and have not regretted it one moment. If you're going to place an order, I'd appreciate it if you would use my host code and go to my website, my Stampin' Up! Website, justalittleink.stampinup.net. All of the measurements and the video is going to also be posted on my blog, justalittleink.com. And so you can go there for all of those things. So let's get started. For this card, you need all kinds of things. All of this started because I wanted a smaller sized slimline card. And I found these, they're called money envelopes. And this fits in there so well. So I've cut a piece of our Sahara Sand cardstock, 6.5 inches by 6.25 inches. And then I've scored it along the 6.25, or excuse me, the 6.5 inch side at 3.25 inches so that I have it scored in half. And so I'm going to go ahead and fold. I like to use my bone folder. It gives a nice crisp score without giving finger marks. You could use your fingers, but you leave a little bit of a fingernail mark, so don't want to do that. You also will need a piece of our basic white, cut 5.75 inches by 6 inches, and you're going to score it at 3 inches along that 6-inch side. I'm going to then run it through our paper trimmer because I need to be able to get these little pop-outs, and they're super easy to get. It's a simple pop-up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in my paper trimmer, and I'm going to line up this left edge at the 2-inch mark. I want my first pop out to start at 2 inches. I want to make sure I'm using my cutting blade. Make sure you can see my cutting blade as I'm coming here. So I'm going to line it up. There's little marks, you can kind of see them here on the blade that tell me where the midpoint is. I'm going to line that up on my score mark, which is 3 inches. I'm going to push it up 1 inch to the 2-inch mark, And then I'm going to come down and come to the 4-inch mark so that I get a 2-inch cut. And I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to scoot it over to 2 1/4 inches. And I'm going to repeat the same process. So I'm going to come at the 3. I'm going to go up to 2. Then I'm going to come down to 4. Now I want to do the same thing, and I found that it worked best if I just turned it. And I'm going to repeat on the other side. So I'm going to line the left edge up at that 2-inch mark, drop my guide down, find my 3-inch. I'm going to come up to 2 inches, and I'm going to come from 3 and come down to 4. Then I'm going to move it over 1/4 inch. That gives me a 1/4 inch pop-up. Come back down to the 3, again up to the 2, and then down to the 4. And I'm going to lift it out. Then I'm going to turn it. You see I have my pops here. Those are cut. I'm going to line it up again at the 2-inch mark, turned this way, 90-degree turn. I'm going to come in, and this time I want to use my scoring blade. And I'm going to come just along that 2 to 2 1/4 inch. Make sure I'm popped in there. I think I popped out. There we go. And this is just going to score. So I want to do the same thing over here. Grab just along that mark, and then I'm going to turn it. Two inches again. And then I want to come and grab just that score. And then I can pull it out. Okay. Get my paper trimmer out of the way. So then I can fold my card. This is the inside. So I'm going to push. It's a little bit of finagling. I'm going to fold in half along that score line. Here in the center and here. And then those pieces here. I think I went the other way. We'll get the point here in a second. So, and then these are going to come in. So I want to make sure to fold on my score mark on this other end, like so. So then it's going to come in. I'm going to have, it'll open this way. So then we can go ahead and begin stamping all the pieces that are going to go on my card. So I've pulled out my chicken, my funny looking chicken. He's eating the birthday cupcake. I'm going to stamp him here. I found, let's see if I wrote down my measurements for this one. I did, yes. 2 3/4 by a 6 1/4 inch is a great sized scrap to be able to stamp all of these different images that I know I'm going to need on. So I'm going to stamp then my little happy chicken. And then I also am going to need, I want one for the inside that says, "Let's celebrate you." And I want one, it's the other one in the birthday one, that says, "You're still a spring chicken." And I'm going to stamp it here. Okay. That takes care, whoops, not quite. So the other thing I'm going to do, I have 3. I told you I used the layering squares. Let me pull that back out so you can see which ones I'm using. So I didn't use the smallest, I used the second to the smallest layering square to cut out these 3. And I'm going to use the not hatched chick. And I need 3 of them. I'll put it down where I can see it here. Line them up. I've got 1. Found a square was easy to stamp on, to where the others I need to be able to cut them out. Okay, like so. So then I've got all of my parts stamped. Now I need to cut out. So I'm going to pull out my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. You could use our full-sized Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I need for it the number 1 plate. I need a number 2 plate, which is our cutting plates. And then I need a second cutting plate to go on top. And I'm going to pull out the, and you see I keep my washi tape actually on there. I find it's helpful. Pull it down. I don't want it too far up. Line up. You're still a spring chicken. Want to make sure it's not going to move around on me. And these dies will have a tendency to do that otherwise. So I need the second and the third smallest ovals. And get it centered in there, like so. So out of the way, I'm going to line this up. And I found, especially with the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, if my dies are too close to the end, it doesn't want to go through. Sometimes just slide it down even a little more. Make sure everything is pushed together. Can be a little stubborn at times. There we go. Kind of just be patient, don't force anything. Okay. I'll pull out those. That gives me my 2 greetings. And then I can line up my little birthday chicks on the die. I'm going to grab some washi that I keep handy, and then I also need a little happy birthday guy, and again another piece of washi. And just stick them on a jar I keep near on my stamp desk. Keeps them handy. So I'm going to run those through. There's more things I need to run through, but I have already done them so that you don't have to sit here and watch. So I've got my chicks. They're all cut out, ready to be colored. Get all the plates away. I also ran through some of the chicken wire that comes with the just the chick dies. That's this one here. It's a very detailed die. And I did that in silver foil with some of our adhesive sheet behind it. And I have already cut through, so I did 3 of our scallop squares that are from the layering squares, and those again are in the one that's just slightly bigger than the size I did for the chicks. And I've cut from Gorgeous Grape and Granny Apple Green, the 2 coordinating sizes of ovals and the scallops to go behind my greetings. Now, the magic of doing things ahead of time, or as they would say on television, I have already colored with the Stampin' Blends my chickens so that I can just get busy on showing you kind of how I put everything together. And the other thing I didn't mention is I've cut some of these cute little banners that are in the birthday chick dies in the coordinating colors that I'm using. So let's get busy and assemble. So it's just a matter of putting on some adhesive on the backs. There is not a gorgeous grape Stampin' Blend, and so I used the heather. Can't see if I can even remember the Highland Heather Stampin' Blends, and I used the dark, which gives a very similar color. They're a nice coordinating color anyway. And with us having the two pens, the light and the dark, it gives you a lot of options. So, and I've got some different videos where I've shown you me using the Stampin' Blends, and so I hope you will go back and catch one of my previous videos where I'm coloring. But I thought the more important part was showing you how to assemble. And I think there's just so many different ways you could do that with this particular set of items that I'm sticking on my card, my pop-up card. So get it all ready. When I saw this, I think this could be a cute Easter card too if you used Easter greetings on the inside, especially with having the unhatched eggs on the front. So again, that there, set that out of the way and kind of show you my hint for on the front. So this is a 6.5 not 6.5, it's a 3.25 by a 6.25 inch piece of cardstock when it's folded in half. So I want to come up, and I figured out that about splitting this halfway was coming up at about 1 inch. So I have an old ruler, and I want to peel this backing off. I do, it's then sticky on the back, which will help me out. I want to line up this dot pretty close to that 1 inch mark, and come out down a little further and make sure that when I'm doing that I get straight. Put it on this end, and then I'm going to do the same thing on this opposite end. I'm going to have a little gap in the middle, but it's not going to matter because the little chick on the front is going to end up covering it. Oh, I thought I had cleaned all this one up. I may not have adhesive on the back, but I thought I did. Little dots or little boogers. Grab my pick tool, take your pick tool. See if it'll lift that up. Yeah, it does. There we go. This pointy end of the pick tool works really well for lifting all of that off. Okay, so again, when I come in, have the 1 inch mark from the one end. You could do it from either side. I just want to make sure that I'm lining it up here. Come up a little ways. Yep, so get it straight. Okay. Get all my little dots off. All right. So then I have all of that. And I determined that I didn't want it popped up with dimensionals because the dimensionals make it very, very full, and I want it as flat as possible. So I'm just going to put some of our Stampin' Seal on the back, and I'm going to line him up pretty close to center. You know, I can kind of fudge a little. You can certainly measure if that is a big deal to you. Come in here, and I'm going to just split the difference between the two. I want a little bit of the chicken wire to shine through. And I'm going to split the difference here. Like so. And then one more thing that I didn't even show you is I pulled out my Stamparatus. Let me get this out of the way. And on my Stamparatus, I've already previously lined up Hey Chick and Happy Birthday. Hey Chick is from the Hey Chick stamp set, and the Happy Birthday is from the Happy Birthday Chick set. So I'm using both. Okay, so I'm going to come down here. So put in my magnet. Well, not even thinking here. Put in my magnet. I'm going to make sure I want to stamp it on the front, not the inside. So then I'm going to use my Tuxedo Black Memento ink, which is what I inked up everything else earlier with. I'm going to line it up. And that gives me the Hey Chick and the Happy Birthday on the front. And I want to go down again because I don't think Happy Birthday is quite as inked as I wanted it. It's a nice thing about the Stamparatus. There we go. Pull that out. Those little dots want to stick everywhere. Okay, I can get that out of the way. Make sure I get my magnets out of the way. Okay. So then I can assemble on the inside. So I have my inside piece. I want to put the green on the center, and for all of this I'm going to be using our multi-purpose glue, multi-purpose liquid glue. So on the back side I want to be careful not to squeeze too hard on the glue bottle. I just need a little bit of liquid glue, and I'm going to line it up. What I'm going to eyeball is about halfway for my little party banners, and I need to do the same thing to my gorgeous grape. My bottle of glue is fairly new, and so I need to be careful not to squeeze too hard. Then I'm going to overlap. So I want to come here, and then I'm going to overlap so that they connect at the top. And I've got one more to go here. Okay. And again, I'm going to kind of eyeball it about where I think I want it. Up to the center. That gives me a nice part there. I'm going to put this down just with, again, with our Stampin' Seal. I want You're Still a Spring Chicken right in the center. And I'm going to put Let's Celebrate You down here. You could certainly do more stamping. I kind of liked the white space. And I wanted a space to be able to write, and so I did that on the other end. And so then I just need to put a little bit of glue. I put a little here because I want to put him on this stand-up. Okay. And I found it was easier to do if I have the chicken standing up. Squeeze a little bit there, so then he'll move. And then I want to do just a little, and I kind of want it where this foot is. I don't want to go too high. Okay, so then I'm going to put that on this other pop out. So then I'm going to lay him down. I did my job right. Let's see if I can get him to stand back out. There we go. Then when I move it, they move with my card. So then the final part is to add this to the inside. And so I want to use a little bit of Stampin' Seal. I want a little along the center. So I'm going to line it up right in the middle. So get this part nice. Open it out, and then I can put a little bit in the center and then along the top. And then when I close my card, I catch the back. So then when I open, on the front I can have "Hey Chick, happy birthday," and when someone opens it, they can see that it says, "You're still a spring chicken. Let's celebrate you." So thank you again for watching my video. I hope that if you have not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, Just a Little Ink, that you will do so. And if you haven't, click the little bell to get notifications when I have a new video out. I hope that you will do so. Thank you so much, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great day.